Hello everybody, this is English Cast and I'm going to talk about Aesop's Fables. I'm going to read an introduction by Marcus Sedgwick. The story goes that Aesop was a slave in ancient Greece, that he won his freedom and that he gained a reputation as the finest of storytellers. Others go further and fill us in with a few more details, that he was an Aesopian, for example, or that he was ugly. But the truth of the matter is we just don't know for sure. That being said, for a large group of stories to bear his name, the likelihood is that he did exist and that some of these stories are his. Some? Well, here again things become a little difficult. It's impossible to know if he wrote these tales in the first place. In those days, storytellers would retell old favorites over and over again, as well as make up a few of their own. But whatever the truth, these are the stories that have become known as Aesop's Fables. Fable is a word that is sometimes used loosely these days to refer to a story that isn't true and is often mixed up with other types of stories such as myths, legends, folk tales, and fairy tales. In fact, each of these is a specific type of story. A fable is a very short piece of prose or verse that uses animals, characters, mythical creatures, or even inanimate objects to illustrate a certain point about human nature or a moral. These animal characters are given human qualities, yet often retain something of their own nature, or at least the nature we humans believe they have. The fox is frequent visitor to these pages, therefore is depicted as cunning and wily, the lion as strong, the ass stupid. It is part of the charm of these tales that they feature such likable and laughable animals, but the truth about who these characters really are would not have been lost on their original audience. They would have known that each of these animals is in fact us, and the jealous jackdaw, the hungry wolf, the timid mouse are all just specks of human nature. Whoever Aesop was or wasn't, his legacy has lived on through the centuries, so that even today we all know what we mean by sour grapes and understand that what was so foolish about the boy who cried wolf. So these stories are as fabulous as can be, full of talking animals and fantastical events, and yet for that very reason they are free to show us something very true about what we humans are like. This is a quote about Aesop by Apollos, a Greek philosopher of the 1st century CE. He was really more attached to truth than the poets are, for the latter do violence to their own stories in order to make them probable, but he, by announcing a story which everyone knows not to be true, told the truth by very fact that he did not claim to be relating real events. We have similar stories such as Kalila and Demne in Persian. Do you know the stories? Thank you for your listening.